Konnichiwa, hajimemashite, watashi wa Honika desu, dozu yoroshiku. If I said that right. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my pre-Japan diaries. Today in this video, I want to talk about the journey that I want to start in learning Japanese. So in one of my previous videos, I spoke about how I will be living in Japan for about 3, potentially 4 years, specifically in Okinawa, Japan. However, I've been doing a lot of thought and I kind of don't want to show up without at least not knowing the basics. I'm using a mix of apps and writing tools, which I will link down below into the description, and hopefully of those of you who actually want to learn Japanese, these resources can actually be helpful for you. I am super excited to be showing you guys what it is that I have been doing so far, but first we're going to talk about the apps. So I am going on my phone right now. I'm going to open the Bunpo app, which is the first app. And as you can see here, it shows that there are many different chapters to go through. Specifically, I am on alphabets and basic words. So while doing research, I realized that there is, I believe, 3 different types of, let's just say, lettering or character usage alphabet in Japanese, which is Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. The amazing thing about this app that I really liked was that chapters 1 is literally Hiragana, and then chapter 2 Katakana, chapter 3 will go into people, chapter 4 family, greetings, phrases, things, animals, numbers 2, and it goes on. So I really like this app because I did try others like Duolingo. However, it didn't start with the actual alphabet. I feel like yes, my goal is to speak the language and know a little bit of some basic sentences. However, I would like to know how to read because it is going to be, I mean, you're in a different country. Why wouldn't you want to learn how to read the language, not just talk it? So if we click on the hiragana, we can see a couple of, let's just say, letters that I have gone through. And if you click here on the hiragana chart, it actually shows you everything pretty much that you're going to be going over. And you can also cover it, which is a little bit of practice for you to see if you can go ahead and remember them. Now we can see that I have gone through lessons 1 through 5, and honestly I'm finding 5 to be a little bit difficult, so I am constantly going through it in order to familiarize myself with it. I do want to mention that this app is a paid version. So I paid, I believe, $40, but it was a one-time purchase and they come out with new lessons every 1 to 2 months, I believe. So in my opinion, I thought it was worth it. It's starting you off with the basics. It's then slowly leading you into introductions, which I thought, honestly, that was kind of the best way to go. And when I first began with Duolingo, it was more kind of just teaching you phrases, not so much how to read, and it started with Romanji, not actually learning how to read the characters. Duolingo, I think it's good once you know hiragana and katakana, but ultimately I thought Bunpo was the best choice. For the second app that I have, that is going to be Busuu, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So the reason why I downloaded this one was because it literally started you off chapter 1, and basically the first lesson, we're gonna put review skills here.
Konnichiwa.
So it basically gives you the hearing, I don't want to say the hearing version, but you can actually hear people speaking in Japanese, which obviously you're going to want to familiarize yourself with that. So we want to go ahead and now we know. Konnichiwa.
はじめまして。
はじめまして。
はじめま
And
し
then we
て。
can see here that hajimemashite means nice to meet you, which is true. This is kind of how the lessons go, but I do want to bring your attention to the fact that when you're doing it in Buso or Busuu, it is in Romanji, which means it's basically in like English alphabet. So hajimemashite. So for example, konnichiwa. You can spell that in English, and then there's the Japanese of how to spell it. So you won't know the characters, but you'll know the Romanji version of it. And I think that that is helpful to a certain degree, but I think ultimately the goal is to learn Hiragana and Katakana. So those were the two apps that I found most helpful as of right now. I also want to bring the idea of practicing how to write hiragana. So in the app, it actually makes you go over it with your finger, and it's super cool, but I think it's really important to practice writing it yourself. Just because you're building that connection between your mind, you're writing, you're speaking it, and not only that, but throughout the app, it like you saw previously, it shows you little words that you can make just with the most basic introduction to the hiragana alphabet. So I thought that was very cool. I do want to go over some of the resources that I'm using. I do have specific PDFs. It's what I use to practice my handwriting and to go over the characters. So once I go over them in the app, I also go back into my iPad. I go through them, I trace them, I write them, I practice them. That way I'm just familiar on the characters being used. So my goal is pretty much to understand the Japanese alphabet in order to familiarize myself with that, be able to make little words, and in that case slowly build myself up to sentences. So as you can see previously on the app that I showed you, I haven't gotten very far just because I was kind of trying to look into these resources that were super helpful, because there's a lot of resources out there, but you could most definitely get lost just because there's so much out there. So how do you know where to start? So I will be dedicating at least a little bit of time every single day in hoping to progress, in hopes that by the time that I leave to Okinawa, I will have at least the basics down of how to ask for something, if I'm looking for the restroom, if I want to know the price of something. It's just, I think the basic things that we don't think about in a language just because we already speak our own. So I really want to explore that, get better at it. I think it'll be a fun time. So look forward to some study with me videos specifically for Japanese, and more material coming your way as I discover more helpful resources, and that way I can go ahead and share them with you as well. Thank you guys for checking in with me on my pre-Japan diaries. I will make sure to create more videos for you guys. I hope you found this helpful, interesting, somewhat fun, and I will see you guys in the next video.